Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 22 of Season 10 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I am Levi McIntire, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Starbucks 500 at Seattle Superspeedway, a 2.25 mile superspeedway track. So this is going to be an interesting one. First time ever to this track. We shall see how it all turns out. Top 10 in the in the point standings coming into the race here tonight. Michael Norman's points lead continues to grow to 175 over James Qualls, 195 over Jay Jefferson, 230 over Kyle Mathews, 315 over Jonathan Zoerlein, 350 over Laney Moreno, 375 over Riley Henry, 385 over the pole sitter for tonight, Dillon Poteet, 395 over Cole Deaver, and 430 over Scott Groverston. Top 10 in the starting lineup for the race tonight. Dillon Poteet on the pole with Mitchell Collins starting next to him in second. Row 2, we have Charles Belding and Melissa Alexander. Row 3, Keith Miller Jr., Dillon Young. Row 4, Karson Gum, Raphael Leduc. And then Row 5, Jay Jefferson and Scott Groverston. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Starbucks 500 at Seattle.
Drivers, start your engines.
All 40 drivers now rolling on the racetrack for the pace laps here. So yeah, this is a brand new track to the Marvel Studios Cup Series. Never before have we raced here. It's a 2.25 mile superspeedway track, so we are going to see how the racing's going to be at a track like this. So I'm expecting high speeds, high action, but possibility of the big one is limitless in races like this. But Dillon Poteet on the pole for tonight. He's looking for his second win of the season to put his name among the others who have gotten multiple wins this season. Scott Groverston being the latest, getting his second win back at Kansas back on Friday. And Lindsay Snider, who had already gotten 2 wins earlier in the season. The competition this season has been quite stiff, considering the new points format, and it's getting crunch time for drivers to really make a push for the championship, considering after this race only 14 races left. Pace car into pit road, so ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means, as drivers are getting ready to tighten their belts and really go for it. Waiting to see boogity, 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 let's go racing. Dillon Poteet led the first lap, and I saw a couple cars get the outside wall from being up way too high on the racetrack. So it looks like that's going to be a bit of an issue with this race, as some drivers going to get too high up on the track trying to give room to others to make moves, and they're going to end up getting into the wall a little bit. Watching Jordan Forbes, yep, he goes up there and gets the wall, actually a couple more, but Dillon Poteet trying to hold off everybody. And I think because of some drivers maybe not being able to carry as much momentum as they can on the bottom, it's helping for the top side to really keep their spots as Poteet leads yet another lap. Scott Groverston, who started 10th, already within 2 laps up to 2nd. The field has started to spread out a little bit, which is sort of surprising for a restrictor plate track, even though it's less distance than other restrictor plate tracks we go to every season. But Scott Groverston now with a big run to the inside, getting that push from Raphael Leduc, and Scott Groverston to the lead as he's maybe looking to go for 2 in a row and getting his 3rd win of the season. Perhaps for that 42 car, if he feels it's go time to try and go all out to be the first driver in the history of this series to win 2 championships in a row and join his co-owner and teammate Dylan Jacobs as being multi-time champions. While he led that lap, Poteet coming back to try and get the lead again, but look at Keith Miller Jr. trying to make it 3 wide for the lead, but just didn't have draft help. And again, more of those cars getting up into the outside wall from going too high on the racetrack, and now that's helped for the top 5 to kind of break away. And Groverston turns around. Michael Norman, the points leader, is turned. James Qualls, 2nd in points involved. Caution is out. Joey Parkhill was in there too. Looks like a 4-car incident. 2 or 3 of those drivers were top 10 in the points, including the top 2 of Qualls and Norman. Although it looks like for Qualls he just got turned around, but Norman did get some damage. But the caution has come out here at Seattle, and Dillon Poteet has the race lead. So let's take a look and see what brought the caution out for the first time tonight here in the Starbucks 500. So all this starts after Scott Groverston took turn 3 too high and ended up getting into the wall a little bit and losing a little bit of time. And then I think what we're going to see is we're going to go to helicopter view to get a better shot at what will happen. I got a feeling he's going to come off of the wall and come down into somebody. And let's see how that happens. Yeah, he gets off the wall, but Michael Norman just has a big run and they just collide. And then Norman's going to end up turning Groverston around. Charles Belding actually got a little piece of that wreck, and there's how Parkhill gets involved. And then right there, a little contact from James Qualls into the 42 of Groverston is what sends the 42 going for a longer slide. Somehow the caution doesn't come out here, and I'm not sure. I think it might be from right there where you see Qualls spin back up into the racetrack. Waiting to watch for the... Yeah, there's the caution light. So I think it was because of Qualls spinning back up into traffic is why the caution came out. So 4-5 car accident. No real big time damage on anybody. So let's take you to the restart here at Seattle. Well, after that first caution, we actually do have 1 car out of the race, and that's Joey Parkhill. I guess the damage he sustained was too much and couldn't... get it fixed, so he is done for today, which is a tough break for that 77 car. But Dillon Poteet is your leader. 2nd is Riley Henry. 3rd, Jay Jefferson. 4th, Keith Miller Jr. 5th is Raphael Leduc. 6th is DJ Kurtis. 7th, Charles Belding. 8th, Matt Haas. 9th, Dylan Jacobs. 10th is Quinten Moore. 11th, Karson Gum. 12th, Jordan Forbes. 13th, Melissa Alexander. 14th, Ricky Carraman. 15th, Jesse Turner. 16th, Daniel Dekay. 17th, Jordan Lopes. 18th, Zachary Fitzwater. 19th, Kyle Mathews. 20th, Lisa Nelson. 21st is William Brock. 22nd, Alyssa Drayson. 23rd, Laney Moreno. 24th, Cole Deaver. 25th, Ryan Acosta. 26th is Patrick Smith. 27th, Daniel Voyles. 28th, Lindsay Snider. 29th, Jessica Shelton. 30th, Raphael Fireblade. Then the rest of the field is Seth Cole, Jonathan Zoerlein, Matt McIntire, Henry Sandfer, Mitchell Collins, Dillon Young, James Qualls, Scott Groverston, and Michael Norman. Pace car into pit road, and we are getting back underway here at Seattle. And when we cross the line, I believe it will be 26 laps to go. So we still got pretty much the entire race to run. And they're finally off and running. So yeah, the positioning of the start-finish line here is really strange. It's almost heading into turn 1 is where the start-finish line is. But Poteet got off to a decent jump on that restart. But look at Jefferson go. Jefferson third in points, and he's going to try and capitalize with the top two in the standings ahead of him in the back, Qualls and Norman. He wants to be able to try and get points so that way he can close the gap on that championship points lead. Riley Henry now up into the wall. Side by side between Jefferson and Poteet. Poteet with a little bit of extra speed running the top side. And yeah, Michael Norman and James Qualls are definitely slowing off the pace. And I think Zoerlein might have got held up, and that's why he's back here. But Groverston looks like he's still up to speed. But Qualls and Norman, top two in the standings, off the pace. So now it's anybody's ball game now for this race. And look at Dylan Jacobs come out of nowhere on the bottom trying to make something stick. But I think he had to back out of the gas just a little bit to make sure he didn't lose his car. But he's up to second now and getting a big push from DJ Kurtis to try and get to the top spot over Poteet. And Dylan Jacobs is the only driver out of the Shadow Cult Racing team that is yet to win a race. Groverston's won twice, Lindsay Snider's won twice, Jay Jefferson once, Jordan Forbes once, Riley Henry once. Dylan Jacobs has yet to go to victory lane here this season, and if he can do it, he can help make the Shadow Cult Racing team be the only team this season with all drivers getting a victory. And Jacobs actually got a better run on the bottom than Poteet on the top side. It looks like Jacobs might get the lead here. I want to go to helicopter view, see if he can beat him at the line. Oh, I don't think he got him. No, he didn't. I was not paying attention, but Jacobs really trying, but he just doesn't have draft help. You can definitely tell the draft is key at this track. Right there, a little tandem between Poteet and Jefferson. Although Jefferson feels, you know what, I ain't helping you out anymore, I want to get the lead for myself. But again, it's almost like as if you're running the very bottom with no real draft help, you have to back out of the gas a little bit to make the corner, whereas if you're up top, you have a better chance at keeping your car in full throttle. But Jefferson, I think, led that lap right there. And oh, Poteet, he's going to end up getting in the wall. That's going to cost him a few spots. Poteet, who had been pretty much up at the front all race so far, he's now got some work ahead of him to get back up there. And while Jefferson led the lap, DJ Kurtis now to the top spot on the track. And this is only DJ's 11th start this season, and he wants to try and get his first win in a long time. And remember, he'll be back for the KMZ team next season, but in a different number. And whoa, Daniel Dekay sideways! Somehow no wreck. We are still clean and green here at Seattle, and it looked like Dekay might have got turned sideways by somebody, but that's going to cost him so many spots. Back to 36th now, but no caution, but that did separate the field into two different groups. So that second group is hoping for a quick caution to come out to get back up into the picture. Yeah, I can definitely tell we're probably not going to come back to this track in Season 11. Unless something can get fixed with this track. But anyways, DJ Kurtis trying to lead yet another lap, but it looks like Dylan Jacobs is going to get a lap led here tonight. But here comes Jordan Forbes, Dylan's teammate, as we got currently 1-2 right now for the Shadow Cult Racing team. With Jacobs in the lead, Forbes in second, but DJ Kurtis wants to get back up to the front. But wow, look at the block Forbes put on Kurtis right there. Now Kurtis going to try to go to the top side. in hopes to take advantage of the slower speed of the bottom. And it actually does work, as Kurtis actually closing in on the 41. Now going to go to the middle to the bottom. Big crossover move by DJ Kurtis. And it looks like Kurtis will get the lead back in one fell swoop. But new contenders coming in. Lisa Nelson out of nowhere has gotten her way up into the top 2. Now she wants to get the race lead. Lisa Nelson going for her second career win of the season. But can she make the pass? I don't know if it's going to be likely because of running the bottom. You have to back out of the gas in such a way. Although she's able to pick back up into the throttle pretty quick. And she's also getting pushed by Jordan Forbes, which is helping her momentum out a little bit. But didn't quite pan out of turn 4 there. And now she's going to go to the middle, back to the bottom to block the line. As Dylan Jacobs gets the lead back from DJ Kurtis. We are seeing some competition up here at the front. It's just the problem we're witnessing is drivers who run the very top end up getting the outside wall and lose a ton of ground. And how about this for a tandem? Dylan Jacobs being pushed by Lisa Nelson, and then DJ Kurtis being pushed by Raphael Leduc. Ricky Carraman also up here into the picture for himself, as he's looking to go for his first win of the season. But it's going to be halfway through here in Seattle. 17 laps will have concluded, 17 to go. And look at the crossover move from Lisa Nelson, going from the top to the bottom to try and get that top position away from Dylan Jacobs. But Jacobs getting that extra momentum up the top side to stay side by side with the 6. They're still side by side. Actually, we've got 2 side by side battles up here in the top 4. Forbes trying to stay in line with teammate Jacobs to push him to the front still. DJ was pushing the 6 ahead, but tried to go to the bottom to take the spot away, but ends up costing him. As the field has really gotten spread out, especially after that almost caution with the 66 of Daniel Dekay. Lisa Nelson going to try again running the bottom to get some momentum on the 41. Didn't quite work in corner entry, but perhaps here off of exit, she'll be able to make the pass, and she does. Move the 6 of Lisa Nelson to the top spot on track. New contenders trying to get in here. William Brock being the first of the new contenders. Up here into 4th now. Jordan Lopez is also trying to work his magic up here to get into contention. Karson Gum, who has really struggled pretty much. Whoa! I saw Melissa Alexander get sideways off of turn 2, but saved it and didn't collect anybody else. Lucky break for them. But Lisa Nelson hanging on to the top spot for now, but Jordan Forbes right there behind, looking to try and get the lead for himself. And he's going to try to go for a crossover move going from the top to the bottom, but does not work out. In fact, he's going to lose a couple of spots possibly, as Lisa Nelson was able to really pull away from everybody behind her at that point. But William Brock getting pushed by Ricky Carraman to try and get some forward momentum going up top. William Brock trying to go for a crossover move, but again, just not really able to make the bottom stick. And now Ricky Carraman up into the wall, trying to let everybody go and then get back in line in hopes he can try and pick his way back up through to get back up to the front again. But it's now 13 laps to go, and Lisa Nelson doing a great job of holding off everybody. She's running the proper line she needs to run, and that's middle to the top side because that's the best lane to run on this track. So looking at fastest laps, so far only 3 cars have broken under 43 seconds. Raphael Fireblade, Dillon Poteet, and Raphael Leduc. Although I have to wonder now, with Lisa Nelson being up there by herself, without draft help, will that be a detriment to her as far as running that lane, or is it actually being a benefit? Although they are 4 wide, or they were 4 wide for second, and Karson Gum's come out of nowhere, as he's now in the top 5, trying to go for his first win of the season. And considering during the most of the first half of the season, Karson was in the top 5 in the standings pretty much all of the first half of the season until whenever we were midway through the Midwestern swing. Then he fell all the way back as low as 23rd or so in points, but perhaps with a good run here tonight, he can get back into the top 20 and maybe even get higher in the standings and get back into the hunt to try and get back into the picture for the championship. Back up at the front, 11 laps to go as Lisa Nelson still hanging on to that top spot as Jordan Forbes hanging on in second. And it looks like they may encounter lap traffic before too long as Michael Norman, who's slow on the track, might end up getting caught by the leaders before too long. And that could cause a ripple effect as far as who will get what in terms of positions, depending on what the 21's going to end up doing. But side by side for the lead between the 6 and the 39. But the 6 getting that extra momentum off the top side, going to keep the spot. And now Leduc trying to go for that crossover move on the inside. Doesn't quite work out. And Lisa pulling away to a bigger gap right there out of turn 2. But now they are pretty much catching. They have now caught the 21 of Michael Norman. Now we're going to see what's going to happen. What lanes will these drivers run to try and get around the 21? Looks like the 21 going to go to the top side to let everybody go on the bottom, but a couple cars got stuck for a moment. Nine to go, and Lisa Nelson still hanging on by a little bit, and wow, Karson Gum and William Brock just... Again, it seems like when you run the bottom lane, you have to back out of the gas, it seems. So definitely the top side is where you want to be here at this track. Saw some commotion back there in that second group of cars. I thought there could have been a wreck back there, but somehow, some way they keep it together. Back up at the front, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race, and Lisa Nelson trying to go for win number 2, but some heavy competition behind her as drivers trying to formulate plans to get draft runs to go by the 6 car. DJ Kurtis, who led a little while ago, he's back up here in the mix in second. Trying to go to the bottom, see if he can maybe make the bottom stick and not have to back out of the gas. I'm going to watch and see if he can do it. No, he couldn't quite make it stick, and Dylan Jacobs using the middle lane to try and get an advantage to get to second as William Brock ends up getting into the wall. Jacobs trying to go for the crossover move in the turn 1, but again has to back out of the gas, and Lisa Nelson just able to stay in the throttle on the top side entering turn 1. Side by side as Dylan Jacobs got a huge run going into turn 3, but again, running the bottom, backing out of the gas, didn't do that move any good. Although he is able to get back into the gas a little bit in hopes that he can get that draft push from Jordan Forbes to get the lead off the bottom, and it looks like he does. To the lead once again goes the 41 of Jacobs. Now can he hold everybody off for the rest of the race, as it's now 6 laps to go. 6 more laps around here in Seattle. Dillon Jacobs, like I said, he's the only driver out of Shelton Racing that has yet to go to victory lane here in Season 10. Everybody else in the team has gone into victory lane at least once. He's looking to go for the clean sweep for the Shelton Racing team, but now Lisa Nelson trying to formulate a plan of her own to get the lead back. But now she's being put to the bottom side as look at DJ Kurtis go on the top side trying to get some momentum going to get to second, but Lisa Nelson actually managed to make the bottom lane work that time, and she's actually got a big run on the 41 of Jacobs to try and get the lead back. But look at Dillon Poteet, who led much of the first part of the race until getting the wall. He's now back into the picture. Who knows what kind of momentum he could have to try and get back to the front here before too long, because time is running out as it's going to be 4 to go here at the line. We got 3 wide back here for second, and the top side's going to prevail with DJ Kurtis getting the second. And look at Ryan Acosta. We haven't talked about him all night. He's been quietly working his way up through the field, and now he's up here in the top 5 looking to perhaps go for his first win of the season. Or first top 5 of the season. And Acosta, with that extra momentum running the top groove, might clear DJ Kurtis here off of turn 4 here. And he does clear him. 3 laps to go now here at Seattle, here at the line. Dillon Jacobs trying to hold everybody off for just 3 more laps to get that first win of the season. But look at Ryan Acosta. He's not one to count out. He's up here in the hunt. So too is Karson Gum. William Brock has now made a comeback as he's trying to go up to the very top side to get that momentum to make moves. And look at the 29 go. He got up to the back bumper of the 10 of Acosta, but it's going to be 2 laps to go when we cross the line here. Time is running out for drivers up here in this front group to make something happen. A lot of shuffling behind third place going on as drivers trying to run different lanes to try and make something stick. But Jacobs doing the smart move of running middle to top to keep his high speed going and hold everybody off. Coming out of 4, and we're getting ready to get the white flag here at Seattle. White flag is out here in the Starbucks 500. Dillon Jacobs just needs to hold everybody off for one final time, and he will finally go to victory lane. Drivers trying to formulate one final push, but I just don't think it's going to be enough as Jacobs just running a smart lane and is too far ahead. And we're getting ready to come off of 4 for the final time. And coming down the front straightaway after a long winless streak. And finally, Shelton Racing, all drivers will get a win. Dillon Jacobs wins the Starbucks 500 at Seattle. Great job by that 41 Kamikaze Games Dodge out of the Shelton Racing team. And finally, he gets to victory lane. And now every driver out of that team has gone to victory lane. What a job by that 41 team. Pulled ahead, managed to hold everybody off for as long as he did, and he gets it here at an unknown track here at Seattle. But let's look at the rest of the results. Ryan Acosta, his first top 5 finish of the season. Second place, great job for that number 10 ride. Karson Gum with his first top 5 in a little while, finishing in 3rd. DJ Kurtis with a great run in the 3rd spot. And then one of the dominant cars of the night, Dillon Poteet, with a solid run in 5th. And that's going to be a big momentum booster heading into our next race at Ontario on Wednesday. Quinten Moore with a great run in the 6th spot. William Brock came back from getting into the wall to get a solid 7th place run. Lisa Nelson so close to getting win number 2 this season, but still great run in 8th. Raphael Fireblade with a solid performance in 9th. And Keith Miller Jr. with a great run in 10th. Then there is your top 20, top 30, and the bottom 5 for this week were Jonathan Zoerlein, James Qualls, Daniel Dekay, Michael Norman, and Joey Parkhill. So that does it for our coverage tonight here at Seattle Superspeedway for the Starbucks 500. As we're in the middle of the West Coast swing, next race we'll be heading to Ontario Motor Speedway for the Firestone 500, I believe. I forget the name of the race, but regardless, Ontario is next. And until then, here is Dylan Jacobs' Victory Burnout and the point standings. And this is Levi McIntire signing off.